What is up, guys? Back with another Marvel Contest of Champions news video. So in my last video we covered the mined information from MCOC Trucos, and also it was sourced from MCOC mod. So this is Kabam's response. The response came extremely quickly, and it basically covers what we already knew about a nerf that was happening, but it goes into very extensive detail about that. So what we're going to be covering in today's video is just quickly running through this list of changes, my thoughts on it, what I hope to come out of it, and kind of we'll see what happens from there. We know this is happening on the 1st of March, and everyone on Reddit and everywhere has been going absolutely crazy. In my partner's alliance, someone actually gave out his password and his email address. He deleted all of his 3-star champions. Not sure why he didn't delete his 4-stars. You know, if you're going to delete all your 3-stars, why not delete everything? But he basically said he quits the game after he's finished with Alliance Quest and Alliance War, and anyone that wants the account can have it. So people, I think, are overreacting. I know that there was massive changes with willpower and perfect block, and everyone went crazy again. But you know, at the end of the day, it was all fine in the end. You know, we all kind of got past it. So we'll run through this. You'll see why I'm not as worried as other people are soon. I'll just kind of go through it as we go through it. So as you can see, this is what we've got here. This is what we already knew about changing percentage-based stats to flat values. We knew a little bit about this and everything like that. So they've gone and told us a little bit more. So the additional stats is going to be armor penetration, critical resistance, block penetration, and challenger rating. So obviously with critical resistance and such, that is going to... just all of this is just counters to god tier champions in the game. It does make it interesting, you know. If they add these onto nodes, you have to play around it, and it does add that little bit extra to the game. I don't mind about these are fine. I'll kind of get through to what people have a massive issue with. Obviously there's going to be flat values now. There's no percentages or anything like that. I did cover that a little bit in my last video, and it kind of explains itself. Kind of goes into a bit of how it all works. Anyone that's familiar with RPG combat systems will kind of be familiar with this. Synergies and masteries, they're not going through any changes, so no one has to worry about that. Although in the package that we're going to be getting, we get something kind of mastery reset tokens, so that's really good. I'm guessing they're going to be doing something with that in the future, so I am quite happy about that. So this is where we get onto each individual champion, and this is where people went crazy. So with the first one up, not very interesting, but Abomination, increased chance to trigger Fury and base poison ability. So as you can imagine, all of these champions that people don't really like, or people kind of just shit talk, they've all got buffs, and all the god tier champions, they've been brought down, as they said in that initial kind of rumored data mined information. They're bringing the bad ones up and the good ones down. So it's not, I don't know how to feel about it, but we'll just go through the changes anyway. Ant-Man, he's going to have an increased chance to trigger fatigue, increased base damage for poison. I mean, you can kind of read all of these here as well. Black Bolt, going to be a bit better. Black Panther, he's going to have... wow, that's at 2:30 in the morning. Wow. Okay, so back to it, sorry about that. Black Panther is going to have increased base critical hit chance boosts on special attacks, increased base bleed damage for critical hit bleeds, and special 3 bleeds. So, you know, a lot of these are interesting, but the ones that people are going crazy about is Black Widow. Her max signature ability is going from 100%, 100.1% to 70%. This makes her a lot more unreliable. I saw that people were going crazy. Obviously in Alliance War, the Thorns nodes are going to be hard, but the thing is, I get people's outrage, but also it's an Alliance War. We're all in the same boat, so it's not going to be that much of an issue. We might get smashed on Thorns, but the opposition is also going to be smashed on Thorns as well, so it's going to work out not really changing anything in terms of Alliance Wars. It's not like there's going to be any kind of advantage to the other team, so I don't understand that. I just get the outrage in terms of getting through certain quests and such, you know, in the single player aspect of the game. So there's a debuff to Doctor Strange. Apparently he's gone through changes in the past, but I haven't been into this game as much as other people for as long. But increased buff cycle from 7 to 9, reduced power gain over time to match the new cycle, changed the lifesteal to a flat health recovery instead of the percentages. So that's kind of what's happening with the entire game, all going to these flat kind of numbers and such. Fix special 2 nullify description to correctly state that it only nullifies one buff effect. So that's not a change, it's just the description. So that's his nerf. Then you've got bits about Groot. Hulk got a buff, which is something that people have been demanding for such a long time. You know, he's supposed to be a powerhouse and he's just not that great in the game. So pretty happy about that. Obviously got those buffs to Iron Patriot, Kamala Khan. Unfortunately, Magneto's got a little bit of a debuff. I actually quite liked the bleed on his special one. It didn't make much sense because it was the punch that was creating the bleed, but I liked it, you know. I don't understand why they had to take that out. It's not exactly breaking the game. It seems a little bit silly. Massive boost for Punisher. I've kind of gone through it a little bit. There's a lot there, you can kind of read through it yourself, but people were demanding for a new Punisher. People were hopefully wanting to see a Punisher Netflix version, so I don't think we need that anymore now that he's had a big revamp. Scarlet Witch, this is the one that people have been going crazy about. Unfortunately for me, I never got a 4-star Scarlet Witch, and all my crystal openings I've been hoping for one. I've always said that I've wanted one. People in my alliance that have got them, they stomp everything and it just seemed so fun. I have a 3-star Scarlet Witch that I've been pumping signature stones into, and she's got me through so much in terms of master mode and everything like that. So I'm sad that my 3-star version is gonna kind of go to shit, but it just kind of shows that it had to be nerfed, because my 3-star Scarlet Witch with the crit team could get through a lot of the content in the game, which it doesn't kind of add up, but it does kind of make me sad as well. So unfortunately, I think that's the biggest reason that guy quit and kind of sold a lot of his champs and gave out his password and email, because he had this 4-star Scarlet Witch that he'd pumped all his time into getting up, and she's been massively nerfed. So just to run through it real quick, reduced stun duration from 3.5 to 1.5, so good looks stun locking anything. Reduced regeneration from 20% to 5%, so you won't be able to keep on blasting on that regeneration and keeping her up to full health so easily. Reduced regeneration, weakness no longer stacks. Reduced amount of damage reduction from weakness, that's fine. I don't mind that. Obviously, that's going to make it easier to fight. That weakness was always a bit of a tough one to get through. Reduced chance to trigger stun and regeneration, and that's a big kicker as well. So not only have they nerfed the stun duration and regeneration amount, but it's also nerfed the chance, which is 13% to 5%, which is a massive killer and doesn't make her that reliable. Like, it was a bit of a roulette game before. You were probably going to win, but sometimes you could get a little bit screwed. Now you can't use her to get through stuff so easily. Like, she's just gone from that super god tier to too unreliable to put all your eggs into that basket, so to speak. And then reduced power lock duration from 6 to 4 seconds, which is okay. Obviously, the thing that people are so sad about is the stun and the regeneration. So Spider-Gwen's getting a buff. She is the new god tier champion. Pretty sure Seaton's probably quite happy about that, so that's good. Star-Lord signature caps out at 400 hits. I haven't done any of the end game content yet, and I've got a 4-star Star-Lord, but he's not duped, so I don't know whether that's going to make a massive difference or not. At least he's not had a giant nerf like Scarlet Witch. Thor is gone from being able to hit things to no longer stacking his armor breaks, and I imagine a lot of people are so upset about that. Like, it was great being able to, even on a 3-star Thor again, like, he could stack a couple armor breaks, bust out his level 2 or level 3 and do so much insane damage. So yeah, you can't use him for much anymore. Like, he's still a good champion. He still hits hard, but like not even his main use in the game is gone now. And reduced amount of armor breaks applied when the ability triggers. So yeah, in terms of that, it's just really bad. And in Ultron, he's just had a debuff in his crit chance, and it's been reduced by roughly half. So I don't know, guys. They've basically just kind of evened the playing field. They've made bad champs better and god tier champs a lot worse. I mean, for myself, my thoughts on this, I don't have any god champs, so I haven't been hit that hard with this. People out there that have got all these god champs and been lucky and been able to face roll the game, their entire game's going to change. You know, if they were lucky to get all of these god champs and they don't really have many of the other champs, then the game's been so easy for them so far. So it's going to be real interesting to see kind of how wars and stuff's going to change, and how... Well, there's the Legends run as well, so that's going to be a little bit harder. I know that a lot of people have been doing it with Iron Fist recently though, so I don't know. But what I can say is it's probably quite good for me, because the last 2 pools I've got in the 4 stars is Winter Soldier and Spider-Gwen, so it's working out for me. I feel like if I had the chance to experience these god tier champions, then I'd be very, very disappointed, but at this moment in time, it is what it is, and we can't change that. I just feel bad for all the people that's dropped a ton of money into the game to either buy Awakening Gems, buy Signature Stones to get these champions up. We are getting some of those back, which I'll cover in a second, but you know, all that time and money, and it's just a bit of a shame. So I can understand people being a bit upset about that, but yeah, my general thoughts is I never had these champions, so I'm not going to miss anything. So the part that is really good and that I'm excited about, I'm sure a lot of people watching this video obviously keep up to date with the news, want to keep up to date with the news as well in terms of this game, so they're probably looking at the hero rating from 30,000 plus. So these are the 2 that a lot of people are going to be looking at. I myself, thankfully, I'm above that 75,000 mark. It's a shame we don't get a full 4-star, but can't moan at 1,500 free 4-star crystal shards. The one that people, the 2 actually that people are going to be really excited for is the 4-star Awakening Gems. A lot of people are going to be keeping them to the side, I imagine, and waiting for that next champion. Once we've all got used to this change, they'll have that there to take up a champion that's really going to change the game. Obviously, it's never going to be in the way that Scarlet Witch did, but will help them massively get through some stuff in the game, almost like a replacement, so that, you know, it kind of softens the blow a little bit. And then we just get a ton of signature stones, and what I was talking about earlier, the mastery point recovery, we get 3 of them, which is really, really good, which tells a lot of people, you know, that the masteries are going to be not nerfed. Maybe they'll add some more. I know that they said they was going to add some more, and yeah, it was just really handy. And then obviously we have these rank down tickets, which if you've been keeping up to date, you know what they are. Obviously, if you've got Scarlet Witch at 550 and you want to bring her down a little bit, you can, which is really, really nice. I think that's great that they did that, because you pumped in so much gold, ISO and catalyst that you want to get some of those back so you can take something else up. No Dr. Voodoo on here, and after watching Dave's videos, Dork Lessons, I'm pumped to get Dr. Voodoo. I think I want to get Dr. Voodoo and whack a 4-star Awakening Gem on him, because he seems pretty amazing, to be fair. From what I can see with what Dork Lessons has done with him, I'm pumped to get him. So it tells you a bit about the rank down tickets and just a little bit more information, a Q&A. But what I'll do is I'll put this, there's so much on here. I'll put this as a link in the description below. You can take a look at yourself, go through all the information, share it with your alliances, your friends. If anyone's not heard of this, you know, if they are living under a rock and they want to come to terms with what's happening. Although if they haven't heard of the news, they're probably not got a roster big enough for this to take much of an effect of them. So all I can say is thank you for bearing with me with this exceptionally long video. Thank you for going through all this information with me. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, post your comments below on how this is going to affect you, what your thoughts are as well, and I'll see you in the next one.